So guys, how to improve your sleep. Tip number one, have the same bed and wake up time every single day. This is a very important tip because when you have the same bedtime and wake up time every single day, especially wake up time, like it's so important to have the same wake up time every single day, your brain gets used to it. By the time you're going to bed and waking up every single day at the same time, your brain is going to get used to that time. So when you get to bed, your brain will think, oh, it's time to sleep. Let's turn off. This really makes your sleep quality better. I know it may seem a little bit tricky at first. I was struggling with this as well because I have to wake up at different times every single day. I have different things to do in the morning. I have different things to do in the evening. For example, training. I always train at 8 o'clock. In my boxing gym or at Taekwondo, we always have training at 8 o'clock and we finish around 10 o'clock. So I had to manage, I was struggling a little bit with the fluctuating times where I had to get sleep and when I had to get up at the morning, when I had work to do in the morning. But the thing that helped me is you have to look at your week, look at your days, and kind of look at the earliest time you have to be up. For example, if I have school in the morning and for my earliest lesson I have to be up at 8 o'clock, I'm gonna make sure that every single day I'm up at 8 o'clock. And the day beforehand, when again I get sleep, if the latest time I can get to sleep, I'm gonna, for example, when I have training and I come back at 10 o'clock, I'm gonna make sure that I have a very quick and simple evening routine after I'm back from training. So when I'm back, I can get to bed quickly. So when I'm back at 10 o'clock, I do my evening routine, I'm done at almost 11 o'clock, and then I can sleep. I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. So basically you have to look at the earliest time you're gonna be up and the latest time you can get to bed. In my example, it's 8 o'clock in the morning and 11 o'clock in the evening. So I wake up every single morning at 8 o'clock, for example, and I go to sleep every single day at 11 o'clock. This maybe can fluctuate like this maybe can change like a half an hour if I go to bed at 11:30 or wake up at 8:30. It's not a big difference, not a big problem, but make sure that it's around the same time every single day. The second tip, give yourself more time in bed. This is very simple, very self-explanatory. Go to bed earlier, wake up later, and make sure that you have enough hours in your bed. Because most of us think that if you go to sleep at say 12 o'clock and you wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, you get 8 hours of sleep. This is not really true because you have to make sure you count the amount of time it takes you to get to sleep, and you also don't take into account that in the night, in the middle of the night, unconsciously we wake up several times, and this takes time out of our sleep. So if you want to sleep, for example, say 8 hours, you have to be in bed around 9 hours 30 minutes. This is different for every single person, but like just make sure you give yourself around half an hour to fall asleep and also around half an hour to compensate for the times you wake up in the night. The more you sleep, the better. So like if you give yourself 9 hours, 10 hours in bed, that's great. I give myself almost 9 hours and 30 minutes in bed every single night, so I try to reach that point. So sometimes it's a little bit less, sometimes it's a little bit more, but like that feels good for me. And it works for me. Just experiment with what works for you. The third tip. This is actually something I see other people do. Not many people do it, but I take micropore 3M tape, micropore tape, and I actually tape my mouth shut before I get to sleep, so that I breathe through my nose, because I'm not a doctor or something, I don't know, but like apparently if you breathe through your nose at night, your sleep quality gets better. So just take a little bit of tape your mouth shut like that, or just like that. It doesn't even have to close your mouth very much shut, because just a little bit of pressure that it gives is going to ensure that your mouth stays shut the whole night. Even if you really have to breathe through your mouth, you can just open your mouth and the tape will automatically come off, as you have seen. So the fourth tip, guys, make sure you have a very good evening routine. This is very important, guys, because if you do the same things every single night before you get to bed, you brush your teeth, you do this, you do that, your brain automatically registers that, and it knows, yes, I'm about to go to sleep because I do it every single night after these activities. Having a good evening routine is so important and makes such a significant change in your sleep quality, guys. If you want to know my evening routine, just look at my channel. I have an evening routine video on my channel. So it really helped me. It really helped me with my sleep quality. So make sure you get that right, guys. Tip number 5, make sure you wind down before you sleep. This is also very important because if while you're sleeping, you really, actually your body tries to lower your heart rate throughout the night. But when you lower your heart rate before you go to sleep, like by meditating or reading books, the best thing I can recommend is just turn off every single light in the house. And only little bit of light from a candle or a night light like this, and just read in your bed to get your body to a relaxed state, lower your heart rate. Also meditating before you sleep for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, even 10 minutes even. It massively helps with your sleep because when you get your body in a relaxed state, you won't be tossing and turning the whole time while your heart rate is dropping. It will already be dropped before you go into bed, so that makes it very amazing. Guys, you can just look up on YouTube 10-minute meditation before sleep, 30-minute meditation before sleep, and lay on the ground, listen, follow along, guided meditation. It's really not that difficult, and it really makes you relaxed and makes you sleep easier, fall asleep quicker, and by that makes you sleep longer, better sleep quality overall. Pro tip. Also, make sure that you don't have lights lying around like your phone. I try to stop. I try to stop with any screens like approximately an hour before I go to sleep. I turn off my PC. I'm not on my phone that much. I set my alarm before the hour, so like I don't have to be on my phone at night, and I just make sure I don't get too many light into my eyes so that they can adjust to the darkness and to the sleepiness of the night. Tip number 6. This is also a massive one. Like, maybe it's even the best out of all of them. It's tracking your sleep. Tracking your sleep by a device like a smartwatch or an Oura Ring or a sleep watch or whatever. It just helps a lot because you can actually see the data of your sleeping, how well you're sleeping, how well you're feeling after you wake up, how much you get a better idea of how much sleep you need, how much time in bed you need. And you can also very well track if you're improving your sleep by for example, the things that I've said during this video. If you see that your sleep is average when you do nothing, but when you tape your mouth shut, you get to sleep and wake up every single day at the same time. You do all these things that I've listed, and then you see a massive improvement in your sleep quality. Then you can see that it actually works, and you can see what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what works very good, and implement that into your sleep schedule. So it makes it easier to experiment with your sleep schedule, and basically an amazing tool to see how good your sleep is. And last but not least, a very simple quick tip is just make sure your room is cold, because we all know during summer when it's hot, it's difficult to sleep, and that's because our body tend to cool down during the night. So when you make sure your room is already cold, it's going to be better for you to fall asleep quicker. But it doesn't have to be too cold. Like in between 18 degrees Celsius and 22 degrees is like the sweet spot. Because if it's too cold, your body will be heating up and being cold all the time. Like, that's not fun either. And when it's too warm, you'll be tossing and turning a lot more. So between 18 degrees and 22 degrees is like the sweet spot. Make sure your room temperature is good, so your sleep is good as well. That were all the quick tips, guys. I really think improving your sleep is very, very important. If you improve, sleep are one of the things that if you improve one thing like your sleep, it improves every single other aspect of your life. You work better, you're more concentrated, you're more productive, you can read better, everything you do is just better. You can train better, you recover better. Every single thing is better because in our sleep, we tend to think a lot. Our brain is working hard. Our brain is working hard, and there's a reason 1/3 of our life is spent on sleeping. So guys, make sure we improve our sleep. Thanks for listening, guys. See you in the next one. Stay humble. Hopefully you can see.